Today, I have a special guest, my son, Bundy Moore.
Hey, nice to see you.
It's nice to see you too. Today, we just want to highlight some of our favorite clean creators. I'm going to let Bundy start. Bundy, who is one of the favorite creators that you want to highlight today?
Okay, we got to kick it off strong with Alan Becker.
Yes.
I love his stuff. So good.
So where do you find Alan Becker?
He's on YouTube. He has around 28 million subscribers, which is a lot for YouTube and what it is. But his whole thing is that he animates and draws stick figures on his desktop. But like, think of the usual like Windows desktop type thing. And then they like come to life and they walk around and do stuff. And then they find like the Minecraft app and they do a Minecraft thing. Or they find like the animation app or they like draw something or whatever. And they just kind of go on little goofy little adventures.
Yeah, so we're trying to categorize some of these. So I think Bundy and I said we would give Alan Becker an E for everyone. Anybody can watch them.
Fully family friendly.
Yes. And even when it comes on, Bundy and I kind of want to sit down and watch what he's put out because it's really entertaining and he's really wholesome.
As soon as we see his thing, we're like, we got to sit down. We got to watch this. Everything stops for Alan Becker.
Right. And he has really good, he produces music behind the videos and it's like really good music. So we would recommend Alan Becker, which is family friendly. I would say one of our other clean creators would be John Crist. He's a comedian. He's everywhere, but he's also on YouTube. Bundy and I actually got to go to one of his comedy shows.
It was great.
November. It was really funny. Good. Yeah. So he's putting out good content. He has a podcast also, but we mostly like his videos, I think, his shorts. So that's somebody you might already be familiar with. But as far as a rating, I think Bundy and I would put him at teen and above.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So Bundy is 13. He's almost 14, just to give you a perspective. But we would say he's more directed to teenagers.
Doesn't and necessarily cuss. It's just more like you got to be older to understand it.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. What do you have next?
So next I have Dude Perfect. So we love Dude Perfect. They've been around for about 15 years now. A bunch of guys just out of Texas just working and doing fun trick shot stuff. But now they've kind of branched out. They're working on a theme park. They have overtime. They have a bunch of different segments and things. And it's just super cool what they've like been doing because they're perfectly clean. They've never said anything that's like bad.
That's right. So they are Christians. They go to church in the local Dallas area, but they are very intentional because now that they're having kids to create clean content. So they've just had a new investor and they're going to be branching out into animation. They're branching out into maybe an outdoor channel.
They're kind of like filling in all the roles, kind of.
That's right. And they also have an app. So if you download the Dude Perfect app, you will have access to several other clean content creators, and they review every video themselves before they post it on their app to make sure that it's family friendly. And that one is actually E for everybody. So any age can watch it. They also, one of my favorite is their bucket list.
They're great.
Yeah.
So they just go and document whatever they do. They're like, yo, what if we went to Alaska and we talked about it and went to all the cool places and all 5 guys go, yeah, and they just do it.
Exactly. So they're ice climbing and they're climbing mountains and they're doing all kinds of stuff. They went to South America.
No, South Africa.
South Africa. Yes, it was really, really good. I enjoyed their bucket list. So that's like a little more documentary, longer content as opposed to maybe like a 10-minute short video. But they're so good. And so it's something we really enjoy as a family.
Great content.
Yeah. I would say that this is somebody I just discovered this year, and it's John Delony. So John Delony, I would say, is really more for adults. He's like a therapist. He's like a Dr. Phil, except for he really, really cares about the people that call in on his show or the books that he writes. So he's one of those guys. He just happens to be Christian. So I wouldn't say he's like a Christian counselor, but he just gives you really good advice. And you can tell that he really cares about his listeners. But the one thing that I think is very different about John Delony is that he's really honest. So when his listeners call in, because he cares, he always says, can I be real honest with you. I think you need to have, stronger boundaries or something, but I really enjoy listening to him. But for sure, more of an adult content creator. And you can find him on YouTube. And I think he's connected to Dave Ramsey, and I think they probably have their own app. So what else you got, Bundy?
Next, we got Mark Rober. His stuff is good because it's like science, but it's not too complicated. It's more like a fun side of science. One of his most popular videos is a squirrel obstacle course.
It's so funny.
He puts a bunch of squirrels through a 9-part Ninja Warrior style thing where they have to jump and like solve puzzles so they can get to all the walnuts at the very end of the course.
Yeah, and he did one also with like an octopus. So it's very educational, and he's showing you how, the octopus thinks and how it works through. It was like some kind of obstacle course underwater, right?
He made a maze for a squirrel, an octopus, and a crow. He made 3 squirrel mazes. He's done a bunch. Yeah.
So he's more engineering type mind, but so educational. And I would say Mark Rober is E for everyone. Definitely. For sure. Yeah, he's really fun. And so they're always really entertaining. The other ones are Jolly. So that's just the name of their channel on YouTube. But there are a couple of British guys that are trying American food. Like they're going to Buc-ee's, they're eating ribs for the first time, but they also bring American food over to Great Britain. And they're like at some kind of private school where they have
the British kids, and it's super funny because they're like, "What is this?" And like, and the guy from Buc-ee's like, "It's a brisket sandwich," and you're like, "Oh, that's so good!"
Right? They're like, so they get the students to try it. They'll say, "Look, this is what this is." Most of them have never had that type of food before,
and this is American Wendy's. And they go, "Oh, it's so good!"
And then of course some of it they don't like, and it's just silly, but it's really funny, and so it's just kind of good entertainment to watch. This kid's
relatively solid stuff.
Yes, yeah.
All right, Mr. Who's the Boss next.
Okay.
So he has great stuff because he's also a British guy, but he does tech reviews over like various products. So it's super cool because he reviews every iPhone, he reviews every iPad, but also he like shows you different kinds of tech that are being produced. Like here's the latest robot vacuum, or like here's a drone you should buy, or a bunch of just generalized cool stuff. And he's funny, which is the main thing.
Right. So he's he's from the UK.
Yeah.
And then he's so technical, and he's explaining all the new tech gadgets. He for sure is also teen and up just because of the nature of his videos. But we are really interested in learning all kinds of different technologies. He talks a lot about mobile phones, smartphones, and how all that works. But he tries out a lot of the technology for you to see if it really works the way that they say. So we say teen and up, and his username is Mrwhosetheboss.
Yeah.
Right? So that's where you can find him on YouTube. He also has several million subscribers, but it's something that Bundy and I like to watch together. Okay, this is going to be, I think, my last one, but somebody else that I just found this year. And again, I am finding that people are being so intentional about creating pure content. Obviously, some of these other YouTubers, it's what they do as a lifestyle. That's how they make their money. But there's other people out there just putting wholesome content out there. So the one I recently found is called Garet and Kate, and they're a couple, and they literally go into this room, turn on their mics with a piano and a guitar, and sing worship music. But the purity that comes from them, because they have no agenda. They're not trying to raise money. They're not selling an album. They truly are just coming in wanting to worship the Lord. And it is the most calming, beautiful music. It lasts depending on, they don't have a set agenda again. They say that they take some kind of song or a thought, and then they just kind of sing over it for however long. But they sing songs mostly that I'm familiar with. But the purity is, I just don't see that out there on YouTube like that. So if you're needing something to help you with your quiet time, or something you need that's calming, or even in the background in your home while you're cleaning, just to create some kind of environment that draws you closer to the Lord, then I would suggest that you find Garet and Kate. So I'll put them more in the adult category. Obviously, there's teens that love worship music. But anyway, check them out. I think you will be pleasantly surprised at just how sweet they are.
Okay. My final one before I think we have a joint one we want to talk about together. Is Ryan Trahan.
Yes.
I love his stuff. So basically he just kind of walks around and does, his videos are kind of all over the place a little bit, but one of his most popular series is that he tests like 1-star reviews on various places, like a theme park or a restaurant or something like that. And it's super fun. Mainly how he edits the videos, because he's just like a small town guy, like, okay, we're going to do a thing. And he's just super funny, like ironically funny.
Yes. He's very simple and unassuming.
Yeah.
That's what I think of Ryan Trahan.
He also has a penny series where he survived on a single cent for 30 days and eventually turned it into like a house by bartering his way up the chain.
Right. Yes. So he's like it's just plain entertainment.
Straight up wholesome content.
Right. Yeah. And I really like Ryan Trahan. He's never said a bad word. Is he more E for everybody or more teen?
He's E for everyone.
Right. But I just don't know that like younger kids want to watch his videos. Like when he'll show you like, I took a first class airplane flight on every airline, or I took the worst seat and the best seat kind of thing. From that perspective, he might be like teen and up just because of what he's actually reviewing.
But also his content is so simple that anyone could watch it.
That's true. It's so wholesome.
I think it's kind of like, it's in between. Depending on your kid, you could you could show it to him at teen or younger, depending on how your kid is.
Right. And so the Dude Perfect app, we talked about that they have other content creators in there. They do have Mark Rober on their app. They have Ryan Trahan and they have Zach King on there. And they said that all kinds of creators come to them and say, we want on your app because it's known to be safe and family friendly. So even if you don't remember some of the stuff we're saying today, the Dude Perfect app actually has other clean content. Okay, who is the one we're going to talk about together?
Together, I think we both need to talk about Beast Games.
Oh,
it is so good. So Mr. Beast is kind of a generalized YouTube figure. He has the most amount of subscribers. He's rapidly climbing up the chain for YouTube stuff and is breaking records, but he just released a show on Amazon Prime with no cussing. It's super crazy because he broke, I think he said 41 world records during the filming, and it is just a really good show. I'm not a huge game show person, but it is the best game show I've ever seen.
Yeah. So Mr. Beast is on YouTube. I would not say that he's family friendly always on there. He's fairly clean, but that's not what we're promoting. He then partnered, because he's so big, with Amazon Prime. They produced like a game show. So he's giving away $5 million. And in this series, he started with 1,000 contestants. So it's on Amazon Prime. It comes out every Thursday. They've released 3 episodes already, but the first one is crazy. It is so intense, but it's definitely like everybody can sit down as the family and watch this game show. It's I don't know. It's like nothing you've ever seen before. And Bundy and I are really looking forward to every Thursday to actually watch it because it's so entertaining, but they're doing a great job.
Yeah, he's clean, at least in the show, but I'd still rate it more teen to adult, mainly because it's adults competing in the challenges, and it's incredibly intense.
It is intense, yeah, but it's fun to watch.
More intense than I could ever thought a game show could ever be, because he gave away $1 million in the first minute and a half of the show.
Of the first episode, yeah.
Of the first episode.
It's crazy.
Most shows have $1 million grand prize, but he's just like, money to everyone.
Right. You know what? Somebody else is Nick DiGiovanni. So he does cooking videos. So Bundy and I are really enjoying watching him because Bundy's learning how to cook. We're both trying to learn how to cook some new things, and it's something we can kind of do as a family. Yeah. So
we have a cookbook.
Yes, we even got his cookbook. It's really good.
It's super good.
Yeah.
And then, didn't you bake the steak from his cookbook?
Right.
That was a good steak.
It was so much better than what I did before. So anyway, it's something, he's kind of a younger up and coming chef on YouTube. And so it's really fun to watch him. His videos are, like 20 minutes or so.
Overall, just really good.
Yeah. So we want you, a couple of things. I think we just want you to be intentional in 2025 to put positive things in your mind. They are definitely out there. You just kind of have to find them. Secondly, I always want to celebrate people that are being really intentional. I think it's harder to keep everything really clean and then still have good content. So it's always nice to celebrate those people that are stepping out and being really purposeful. And I want to remind you that whatever you're doing, right, is that you can ask the Lord how you can make a difference in somebody's life today. That our goal is just to minister to the one person in front of us and not think we have to do so much and get overwhelmed by it all. So any last word?
Have a good time in 2025.
Let me just give you a New Year's blessing. May the Lord be with you this year. May you grow closer to him. May you grow closer to experiencing your destiny and what the Lord has for you. And so we just bless you in 2025.